1 in the morning, September 2nd, 1666. A baker's maid smells smoke on Pudding Lane. By sunrise, London is dying. Her name was Rose. She dies within the hour, and officially, almost nobody else does. That number is a lie. Put yourself there. You live inside the city walls with 80,000 others, packed into timber houses, stacked over narrow lanes. Fires happen every week in this city. Church bells ring, neighbours pass leather buckets, and everyone goes back to bed unimpressed. So, when someone hammers on your door at 2, you look out, see an orange glow near the bridge, and shrug. The Lord Mayor himself is woken, looks at the flames, and famously dismisses them as something a woman could put out. That shrug, his and yours, is the first thing that kills you. Tonight, 4 ingredients line up against the city. Ingredient 1, drought. It has barely rained for months. Every beam, every thatch, every fence in London is kiln-dry fuel. Ingredient 2, the wind. A hard gale out of the east, driving sparks hundreds of feet ahead of the flames themselves. Ingredients 3 and 4 are the city itself, and a decision the Lord Mayor makes tonight that dooms 13,000 houses. London's houses are timber waterproofed with pitch, essentially painted with fuel. Upper floors jetty outward until neighbours can shake hands across the street. Flames don't need to travel along the ground. They step from overhang to overhang, roof to roof, faster than you can walk. Down at the riverfront, warehouses hold oil, tallow and brandy. When the fire reaches them, it stops being a fire. It becomes a firestorm. Heat that lights buildings without touching them and melts church bells into bronze rivers. There is exactly one proven way to stop it. Pull down the houses in its path and starve it of fuel. The tool exists. A fire hook, a massive iron claw on a 9-metre pole that can drag a house down whole. But demolition needs the Lord Mayor's order because somebody must pay for every house destroyed, and Thomas Bloodworth refuses to give it. He hesitates over rebuilding costs while the fire eats a street an hour. By the time the king overrules him, it's Monday. 300 houses burned while you slept. Now the streets you would escape through are filling with everyone's furniture. And this is where your real problem begins. Because surviving the fire was never about the flames. It's about the exits. The city has walls. Walls have gates. A few narrow arches for 80,000 people, their carts and their lives. A cart that cost a few shillings to hire on Saturday now costs £40, 2 years of wages, cash up front. You can't afford it, so you do what everyone does. Pile what you own on your back and join the crush. Or you look to the river. Boats swarm the Thames, and watermen are getting rich hauling harpsichords instead of people. Choose wrong, and the wind chooses for you. It shifts, and streets that were safe an hour ago become ovens. The heat is not like a fireplace. At these temperatures, your clothes can ignite from across the street. Air scorches lungs. And the crowd has found someone to blame. Rumour says foreigners started it. French and Dutch agents throwing fireballs into shops. Mobs drag anyone with an accent from the crush and beat them in the road. Escaping, for some, is the dangerous part. One Frenchman will pay for the whole city's rage. Remember that, because his story ends after the fire does. By Monday night, the refugee camps at Moorfields hold thousands, watching a 2-mile arc of their city burn. Meanwhile, the men still fighting have almost nothing: leather buckets, hand squirts holding a few litres, syringes against a firestorm. The diarist, Samuel Pepys, climbs the Tower of London at dawn and watches the waterfront burn end to end. Pepys races to the king, gets royal orders for mass demolition, then goes home and buries his Parmesan cheese and wine. It sounds absurd, but that cheese was a fortune, and Pepys understood no cart on earth was coming for it. King Charles and his brother work the fire lines themselves, ankle-deep in water, passing buckets alongside labourers. Tuesday is the worst day. The flames jump the fire breaks, take the Guildhall, and finally reach St. Paul's Cathedral. The cathedral is sheathed in scaffolding for repairs, its yard stacked with Londoners' rescued belongings. It all goes up together. 6 acres of lead roof liquefy. Witnesses describe molten metal running down Ludgate Hill like water, glowing in the dark. That night, the Navy stops asking hooks to do a gunpowder's job. They start blowing whole streets into rubble. It works. The fire breaks at the Tower and Cripplegate hold, the east wind finally dies, and Wednesday brings silence. 13,200 houses, 87 churches, 1 cathedral, 100,000 people homeless. And the official death toll, the one still quoted today, is 6. Rose the maid and 5 others. 6. Historians don't believe it. The poor were never counted, and a firestorm that melts bells leaves nothing to find. The true toll is unknowable, perhaps hundreds, perhaps thousands, folded silently into the ash and the official story. Somebody still had to hang for it. Robert Hubert, a French watchmaker, confessed to starting the fire, a confession that was impossible. He wasn't even in England when it started. London hanged him anyway, 3 weeks after the embers cooled. Then London rebuilt in brick and stone, widened its streets, and invented fire insurance, the modern city born in act. So no, you probably wouldn't have survived London 1666. Next time the gates of the Colosseum open, for you.